Topic number one. Marvel Studios in talks with Disney to rehire James Gunn.
Nope.
I mean,
Okay.
But you know it's not going to be as a director.
yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Like I was just surprised that.
Topic number one. Marvel Studios in talks with Disney to rehire James Gunn.
Nope.
I mean,
Okay.
But you know it's not going to be as a director.
yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
Like I was just surprised that.
Topic number one. Marvel literally wanted to have a hand in everything. That's what it seems like they were doing. So it's kind of weird if they don't. And there's been like a whole lot of support for him, obviously, even though some other stuff that showed up in, recent posts that I don't really want to talk about here. But it's like there's been a lot of stuff that showed up and people are still showing him support. So at some point you have to kind of acknowledge that, right? Like,
I think it's because people know, like, context matters.
mm-hmm.
And everything he's done, everything he said, there's context to it. And
Right.
Just because you say and do something doesn't mean you think that particular thing is right.
Yeah, that's true. And how do you, like, because hypothetically, if they hire him back, how do they go forward with that messaging? And how do you prevent the obvious backlash it's going to get from certain news outlets where in the headline it's going to be like, oh, pedophilic freaking James Gunn rehired by Disney? Because, there's going to be spun by, like,
Oh, yeah,
whoever.
yeah.
So it's like Fox News probably. So it's like, ugh. How do you deal with that?
I mean, that's the problem, isn't it? But, they're getting a backlash now. So,
Mhm.
I mean, like, yeah, because like they're gonna get a backlash either way, whether they hire him or not.
Yeah.
It's just what do they really want to do?
like, it's not... what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, I've lost that train of thought. Oh,
I mean, now that it's out there, you can't possibly ever put it behind you. Even if it ends up being, even if all of it's false and nothing came out of it, the stigma of it is still there. So,
yeah.
it's such a weird situation they find themselves in. And not a good one particularly. So it's like, well,
No, it's not.
I wonder what they do here. Like, personally, I guess we could talk about it. Do you guys want him back? How about you, Mitch? You first.
I mean, I'd like to see him back.
Uh-huh.
I think at this point in time, it's probably not best if he does. Like, directing wise, I don't think it's best if he does. Producing, sure. Like, why not? You can. Feige wants this to go a certain way. He needs this to set up the rest of the cosmic side of the Marvel universe. So, that's fair enough. Get him in like a behind doors role, not one that's going to be out in front.
Yep.
No, even if he is like a producer, they're not gonna the whole press tours and everything going to be filled with questions about it. But
Exactly. Yeah.
you're gonna get that whether he's there or not. So.
Mm-hmm. Tristan, what's your feeling on this?
It's the same. It's just like I just want to know like what's the plan for Gunn going forward. If they do the producer role,
Mm-hmm.
and no matter what, because I think like Mitch, you have his stance on it is that they shouldn't have done this in the first place, and
Yep.
No.
Yeah.
and just
I mean, if if they're gonna fire him, investigate it. Don't just be
Yeah.
like, no.
Don't,
Done.
they were they did the whole Warner Brothers reactionary. Hey, something is popular, react to it and announce something that might not happen. They literally, there's no way within 10 hours there was an investigation complete and they looked into it. It's like it was just reactionary and it backfired because the amount of support that came out after it is truly tremendous. And it shows you what people think of him.
Yeah, it's like did we actually do something wrong here? Instead of just calling down and saying we don't want her anymore.
Right. And there wasn't
It'd be different if he said it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like a politically motivated hit.
I see. Yeah, because
So-
like, it's refreshing. Like, it shouldn't be.
Should be back. Hopefully the podcast is going to just pick up where we left off. I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
Is it live again? It's fine.
It's this whole situation with James Gunn is just pure weirdness, and it makes me just kind of wonder, right? Because it's like, if anybody came out and started talking about him, and like, imagine if there was a few cast members that came out, they're like, oh, now I guess those things he did with those kids or something, like, like Bryan Singer or something like that. People are like, oh, he was always weird or awful to me, or he had these things he said. Nobody said any of that. It was all fine.
So you're talking about the Charlies of the world.
Yeah, it's like, okay, like, he never did anything. There's no accusations. Nobody has come out and been like, oh yeah, I brought my kid to the set and it was awful, and he, like, did these terrible things or said things. It's like, everybody's like, no, he never did anything like that. So there was no even proof behind any of this. Just, what an awful situation to be in. Like,
yep. But I don't know. It's just a weird one. But I think he kind of should be back. But then again, even if Feige does get like Iger's permission to bring him back, who says Gunn wants to come back now?
True.
So it's just weird. They've said, like, of course, last week we said that the script might be getting scrapped, and of course that same day it came out that the script wasn't getting scrapped by a more reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and that's
as long as you can kind of tell it's a James Gunn movie and doesn't feel like all disorientated because it's been shoved through the mixer 12 times.
Mm-hmm.
I think everything should be alright. But if he's going to be a producer on it, he can just backseat direct essentially.
Right.
If they do get Nicole Perlman, she can do her thing, and then Gunn can just come in there and be like, no, do it this way, do it that way.
Right.
This is how I want them,
Yeah.
So it's still probably going to feel like a James Gunn movie either way.
That's the hopes, I would say,
And there's zero chance they scrap this. Like, everyone's saying that, just stop.
Yeah, I don't think they scrap it. I mean, I wouldn't mind if they did because they could do something else, but it's like, all right, they're going to finish the trilogy because that's their business.
Yeah. I say I'd mind because, it's bad enough having just Incredible Hulk there. Like, can we not just have a 2-movie franchise?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It triggers my OCD.
That's true. So I guess that'll be it for this week's James Gunn Round the Clock update.